Let's take a look at this problem. We want to graph the following function over 2 periods by hand, showing t-chart along with the graph that has labels on tick marks. So we got y is equal to negative secant x over 2. And I could write that as negative secant of 1/2 x. Now remember, whatever number's in front of our x is our b. And our period for secant and cosecant and cosine and sine is 2 pi over b. So we're going to have 2 pi over 1/2. When you got a single fraction in the denominator, you flip it, take reciprocal of it, and multiply it times your top. 2 pi times 2 would give us 4 pi. So that'd be our period. And build our t-chart here. We got 0, that's 0. Period is 4 pi. Half of our period is 2 pi. 1/4 of our period is pi. And 3/4, why do I keep writing pi's down there? Let's try it again. That's 1/4 of our period, and this is 3/4 of our period. Okay, well, 3/4 times 4 pi gives us 3 pi. And now we're going to plug those into our function. But if it throws you to have secant there, well, we can rewrite this as the negative stays out in front, and then this becomes 1 over cosine of 1/2 x. Because secant is equal to 1 over cosine. Okay, so if I plug that in, I got negative 1 over cosine of 1/2 times 0. So it'll give us, I'll put negative up on top. Negative 1 over cosine of 0. And cosine of 0 is 1, so that gives us a negative 1. Now if I put pi in there, I got negative 1 over, or negative and then a 1, and then cosine of 1/2 times pi, which gives us negative 1 over cosine of pi over 2. Negative 1 over cosine of pi over 2 is 0, so that's undefined. If I plug in 2 pi, I put negative up on top already. So I got negative 1 over cosine of 1/2 times 2 pi, which gives us negative 1 over cosine of pi. And cosine of pi is equal to negative 1. So negative 1 over negative 1 is a positive 1. For 3 pi, I'm going to have cosine of 1/2 times 3 pi, which gives us negative 1 over cosine of 3 pi over 2, which is negative 1 over 0, which is undefined. And then this is back to our starting place, so that's back to negative 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this. 4 pi, that's approximately 12. So keep that in mind, and I want this to be 1. Okay, so this is 4 pi. This will be 2 pi. This will be pi, and this will be 3 pi. Now if that's pi, that's a distance approximately 3, and I'm looking for 1 and negative 1, which would be about there and there. Okay, first point is 0, 0, right there. Next one is pi undefined, which means we have an asymptote there. Now the next one is 2. What did I put there? Let's try it again. 0, negative 1. My eyes got off. Okay, and this one's an asymptote. And then 2 pi is, why my eyes still getting off? 2 pi is 1. And then 3 pi is an asymptote. And then 4 pi is back to -1. Okay, so that's what they're given. Well, by the nature of these, we know what it's doing. It's coming down here and touching at this point, and coming up and skimming those. Then over here, doing the same thing. And then over here, doing the same thing. And then over here, it's doing the same thing. So there's our graph over 2 periods.